Everybody want these shirts. Yo, they love it. I just seen Zolin, right?
Right.
Zolin talking about John. You crazy.
Listen, you gotta do something to create some kind of drama. Right? This is the one that you saw? You saw that?
Yeah, that's the one I got on the page.
Hey, what's Shannon's last name? You know Shannon's last name?
Who?
Shannon.
Oh.
Shannon Holmes?
Yeah.
Why do you need her name? I know Shannon Hall. What do you need Shannon Hall for? I used to work with her. He was part-timer. What's the big key things today?
Well, you know, Western PA got their pension covered by the company totally, even though they voted no. And you know they had the same language that we had, that if you don't vote yet the first time and all this other kind of foolishness.
Yeah.
Well, you know they voted no.
Yeah.
And now the company's gonna.
Say about the pension again. What happened with the pension?
Well, you know, hold on a second.
No, we talk about it on air. I listen on air. Go ahead.
All right. Ah, crap! What I do?
We're live.
I did something. Goodness.
Can't broadcast right this second. Due to technical difficulties.
I know, right? Well, what happened was, well, you know they had that same language that we had.
Yeah.
But they voted no anyway.
Yeah.
So now, the company is agreeing to just picking up the whole shortfall anyway, regardless of them voting no, and some other perks that they got that we didn't get.
Oh.
Yes.
Magically.
Yeah. So, and you remember what our e-board said? We're
gonna get stuck. You're
Right.
gonna be
Right.
out.
So this is a big problem that I'm having with this whole thing.
You know what the problem is? The e-board never fully explained that clause, Article 34, was instituted across the country with different pension plans, and they should have really made a notice of that happening, so they could, allow everybody to understand what's going on across the country. You know, that's a pretty big thing, ask me.
Yeah, it's big, man, because we had the same language, and we couldn't get
you
jack.
got a pay rate that's pre-printed before the contract's even out. And all the contracts I read, they all have the rates for the full-time positions. Then Article 34 comes in and changes the rate and lowers it by
Good morning.
whatever the amount is.
Hope everybody is having a good morning. It's good to see everybody that's watching us on Facebook Live and everybody that's listening to us on 92.9 WOOM. Appreciate you as well for joining us. Just bitter, not bitter, but it's a little chilly out there. Wednesday morning. Hey guys, we gonna get right into it. Now, everybody was wondering about what's going on with the contract, and let me move over here so that everybody can see you, Espo. You know what? I think this one works. Yep, that works too. So you can use that whenever you guys want to chime in.
Okay.
Everybody wonders what's going on with the contract. I know everybody's seen the letters that the local unions are giving the locals in the Western PA. They were voting this weekend for April the 7th, 6th and the 7th. Now, it's very important for us here at 623 to pay attention to this because they had the same language about their pension. And you guys know what it said. We heard it. It said that if you don't vote yes the first time, you lose part of your raise, and it will be put towards the pension to make up the shortfall. Y'all do agree with that? That's what it said, right?
Exactly what it said.
That's what it said. So, and our principal officer, Mr. Bill Shanahan, what did he tell us? All this, we don't want to go down this road. There's nothing that we can do. The company's going through this, and I remember it distinctly in the shop steward meeting. He told us, he said, us as leaders, we got to make sure we do the right thing. Tell all the members that, hey, we don't want them to lose all this money because we can't go back to the table and get this provision and this all kind of excuses. That's what he told us. Now, if he tell anybody anything different, he lied. Everybody here knows it. You guys know it there too. So, as it would happen, Western PA had the same language that we had. That if you don't vote yes the first time, UPS will take part of your raise and put it towards the pension. Well, Western PA voted no the first time. UPS came back and took that offer off the table. Western PA voted no again. And guess what happened?
They got what they wanted.
They got what they wanted. UPS gonna make up the whole shortfall without any contribution from the members' raise. Now, why, Jumbo? Why, Expo? Why didn't our leadership do the same thing for us? Why were they telling us we can't do nothing about it? This is what it's gonna be. All this other kind, and Shanahan he was in the hub. Hey, listen, I don't want you guys to lose all this money. He printed out the paperwork. Oh my goodness, if you don't do this, man, we gonna lose this. Check what the Western PA guys did. They stood up for their members. They fought for their members. And not only are they going to get the pension rectified, they also got some other things. We didn't get nothing. You could use that one.
Here's a big question, right? Did they explain whether or not they were going to get the money that they were contributing into the pension fund all those years restored back to their general wage?
That's going to come out later today, because they're actually, when they vote this weekend, everything that they're going to be voting on is going to be in the information later on today, so they can actually know what's going on when they vote this weekend. And guess what? Your boy going to be there. Both of your boys.
Which one?
Hamilton and Hall going to be in one of them locals out there in Western PA to answer any questions about what's going on. Your boy Hamilton, according to the guy,
Hamilton, he don't know. He's not UPS.
But he came through on for this pension. He came through for him out there.
Why he come through with our pension? What was he at for our pension?
Because our people didn't fight. They didn't fight.
And not only that, the question is, they still said, Shanahan, what was the $6 million for Local 623?
Nobody knows.
They won't answer the question.
Now, when we had that meeting with your boy, Warrenby, and the other board member.
And Bill Marsh.
Well, like I said, I'm not privy to say anything.
And Bill Marsh.
So, they said that there was a letter they was trying to draft and let the members know why the pension was in trouble. And your boss said that no, he didn't want us to know anything.
Hold on now. You mean to tell me Hamilton gonna be there Saturday,
right.
And
him and Hall
about the pension? But what happened? Hold up. In 2013, Hamilton came to the gates.
He was there in 2016 too.
No, and he talked about the pension, and the guys beat him up. What year was that? 16 or 13?
I know he was there 16.
No, it was 16. 2016 when Fred was.
2013.
Yeah, but no, it was when Fred was running, and he came out there and trying to say how good the pension was, this and that, right? I think they ate him alive. He got his truck and left. He got his Jeep and left. Yeah. That's when he had the white Jeep.
Oh.
Yeah. So what happened? So what I'm saying is, right, in 2013, he didn't fight for us. With Team Care, now he fight for something like, look, I don't know, man, look. And whenever, listen, so he helping them out, right?
Right.
But when we call him, we can't get no help.
Hey.
We call him for safety at the airport, no help. You understand what I'm saying? And we got a million problems. We can't get no help from him. You know what I mean? We had a couple meetings with him, right? And it was a waste of time.
Well, like I said, my biggest thing was I wanted to let everybody here know, especially all the full-timers here at 623. This is what happens when you don't have the right leadership in place. They fought for their members. They didn't fall for the whole threat language. Because guess what's going to happen if these guys remain in office?
They're going to threaten us.
They're going to do it
next
again.
Contract, they can do whatever they want.
But not only that, though, you remember what happened with Shanahan and the preload manager and her manager? They bust him all up.
And he's
cursing at him and yelling at him.
And this is what he did. I don't know how everybody looking. When they cursing him out, this and that, this is what the principal officer did. He did like this. Put his hands like this and put his head there.
You were there and another member was there and they said the same thing.
And the shop steward even was there.
Right, and that's the problem.
And the shop steward, his main man was there. He went back his main man.
That's what I'm saying. He wouldn't even back him up.
His alternate shop steward, him and Shanahan like that. Take him up to the office, they chum and everything just like that, right? And shop steward got in trouble and was hollering at the manager, right? And Shanahan said, ho, don't holler, you're going to lose your job, right? And not only that, if you keep pursuing the grievance, They're gonna disqualify.
Disqualify. You can go back part time.
You're principal officer. Your shop store right there, and you won't back them.
But this is the attitude that these guys have.
Let me just clarify. The employee was threatened to be disqualified.
Shop store
was threatened to be disqualified from a job for filing a grievance.
Well, listen to what we said, Espo. We said that he was hollering about a grievance and what was going down. And Shanahan told him, lower your voice or you're going to get fired, right? And not only that, you're going to get disqualified.
For pursuing the grievance.
Yeah,
pursuing the grievance. So if he's going to exercise his right to pursue a grievance,
he's going to lose.
They were going to they made the impression that he was going to get disqualified because he was pursuing the grievance.
Now they didn't say that. Shanahan said that.
Shanahan said that.
Yes.
All right. Just want to clarify that point.
And that's why this whole negotiation process was bad. They came to the table. If you want to do what we say the first time, this is what we're going to do to your people. And it trickles down right into the hub. It's going to keep happening.
And we want everybody to know, them clowns, them Unity, they listen to everything we say right now. You think they not? Yeah. So, 2013, we voted no 2 times, right? They said they couldn't make Team Care better. They tweaked it. They tweaked it a little bit. We got a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So what happened is they lied to the new hires this time.
Yeah.
They told new hires, if you vote yes, you're going to get your retro check in October. So that's why we lost by 8 votes, because you know what? We supposed to be in this rumble too. We supposed to be in this rumble.
Supposed to be.
We came up short because the new hire, they took advantage of the new hire.
Yeah, they told him, and they also told him, Jum, that hey, if you vote yeah, then your pension will be secure. They didn't tell him there was difference in the pension. If I'm just coming into the job, I don't know anything about a pension. If you tell me to vote yeah and I'm gonna secure it, then I'm gonna do what you tell me to do. It's just how it is going to be. And they did that. It's a whole lot of young members told me that. Oh, well, they told me to vote yeah because the pension. But that had nothing to do with it.
And they pension is
100%. Right, it's separate.
It's 100%. 100%. You know what I mean? It was all about that. All Shanahan cared about this contract was the full-timers. That's all he cared about.
Well, obviously
and he lied to the full-timers.
Right.
I don't want you full-timers to have to pay out your pocket, this and that, right? And they took it and ran with it. A lot of people got scared. They scared a lot of people.
Right, a lot of people got scared.
That's what they do. They use scare tactics in 623, right? It's sad, man.
It is. It really is. And I really wanted you guys to know that, because a lot of the full-timers here, they were scared, and I can understand. I get that, because I've been there before when you listen to these guys blindly, and you just go on by what, yeah, John, you're right. You're right. It is what it is. That's what the president...
What? What that shorty say? What that say?
It is what it is.
Thanks for Bobby Curry. Compliments to Bobby Curry. He gave me the shirt, right? But the whole hub beat me up. They said I got my nephew shirt on. It's too small.
Yeah, it is.
It's too small. He's talking about jump. What you on a diet?
You got a medium shirt.
Yeah, he talking about 2X. It felt like small.
Yeah, it looked like
the whole hub beat me up last night.
Yeah.
But they like it. So this shirt is... This is what our president tells us whenever you ask a question.
Now tell him how it all started though. I remember it.
I think it started with Team Care.
Right.
And he said, you guys need to wake up.
Yep.
Y'all been living in Disney World.
Right. Take the silver spoon out your mouth. And I'll never forget it, because I had my daughter with me, and we was in the back, and they was talking about the health care and this, that, and the other. And then he said, well, you guys been living in Disney World too long. You got to take the silver spoon out your mouth. Then he said, it is what it is. I'll never forget, I took my phone out, and I text Claire. I said, Claire, did he just say that?
Yeah.
And he said it.
Yeah.
He didn't care.
So this is what he tells the members, right? It is what it is, right? So what happened is, this man makes $137,000 a year, and he sides with the company 100% of the time. 100% of the time. And he doesn't represent the feeder drivers. He show up every now and then. He never been bad down there past 5 o'clock. Oh, he was one time. When Dizzy got fired, George Ruggiero, principal officer, was in Florida on vacation. He came down there to save Dizzy's job. So what I'm saying is, if he came down there and saved Dizzy's job, why he can't come down there and sit in the hearing with the other guys? I mean, what's the difference? If you're going to come down there for Dizzy, we got feed the driver. They're all paying you. You can't come down there and save their job. I mean, it's a double standard.
What you got? What you got, Espo? I know you sitting back there quiet, man.
You got nothing to say about it is what it is. What it is.
No.
I just want to talk about Izzy and his horse trade.
Dizzy.
Well, here it come right now. He'll be the perfect guy to talk about it. He can talk about the seven grievances.
I have a paper from the IBT.
Right.
I showed this, share this out.
Well,
The grievance process, the grievance procedure, making it work for us.
Yeah, and if you guys need to see this, we have it on our page. You
email it to somebody, have it downloaded. You need that.
Right. I use this from time to time. Also, like I said, it's on our page. You can you go to our page, 63 Lives Matter, right? Go to files, and it'll come up there as the grievance procedure and how to make it work. We've been trying to put a lot of stuff up there about education and tools so people understand. Like yesterday, there was an article from Labor Notes about how to deal with each other in the workplace because everybody's not going to get along.
Let me cut you off when you say Labor Notes. Is there any way you could tell them to look up the article about you from Labor Press?
I'll just post it again on the page. It's Labor Press.
Tell me right now.
I think it's just www.laborpress.org. I think. And the article that we did, it's 2 articles that we did. One in last October, and then the one in a couple of weeks ago when we did the bylaw amendment. It was really good, really good.
They gave them a help. They wrote
they did. It was real good.
A great article about it. And we wish y'all can go out and look at it, because what happened is we trying to print it up and we're going to pass it out.
So
it was beautiful.
What I'm talking about. The IBT says in the settlement of grievances, what should be avoided is the appearance that one grievant receives a better settlement than another because of one who the grievance were. In addition, there should be no horse trading whereby one grievance is sacrificed in order to save others, nor should there be even the appearance of such action. At the last union meeting, Dizzy clearly stated that he asked Clarence Bagby to horse trade 7 grievances for another member, which he did not have to do. We'll let him comment.
Right.
Now, here's what. Now, Izzy asked me. He did ask me to do that for bringing the member back. Now, what happened was the member was brought back without the 7 grievances, but he gave up the 7 grievances anyway. And as I said, he asked me that, and this is common practice with our board.
Wait. Tell him why he asked you to give up the 7 grievances.
He told me, he said the only way to get the guy back was to give up something. And this is what they usually do. They always give up something. And as a steward,
did he say that did he put in there that show the new labor managers?
No, that's something different. That's something different. I gotta get to that. I gotta get to that.
All right. So give it to him. Gotta give it to him.
I got them. I'm going to the whole story. So he told me that they brought the guy back, which was good, and he said in a show of good faith, he just gave him 7 grievances. So I said, all right, well, whatever. So the grievances. So we did other grievance hearings, and we made them. I went in first, and I made them pay all 4 of the grievances. One was to me, and 2 was to 2 other our employees. Rich came in, he got the same settlement. And he made it seem like, I'm not going to argue with it.
Right.
But the fact is, the grievances was for 2 hours apiece at double time. They worked in 2 hours, so the grievances was warranted. So grievance check didn't come within the 10 days as stated in the contract. I text Izzy, no grievance checks. 3 days later, I see it online as I get the grievance check. So I see him again. I say, Izzy, we want penalty. Me and the other 2 people and Rich want penalty. He says to me, "Well, are you sure you want to do that?" I said, "Of course, because right now they owe me that. They're not giving me that penalty for a favor. They give me that penalty because they owe that to me. Contract states you don't get the grievance money within 10 days, you get penalty. So we're owed the penalty." So he says, "Well, in the future, you might want something from them." I said, "Well, Look, forget all that. I'm not going to go to the two members that I put grievances in and myself and say, well, maybe in the future I might need something. So I'm just going to bypass what they owe us. So
I'm not going to process your grievance. This is exactly what it says. Yeah. I'm not going to process your grievance, but I might be able to hook you up in the future.
Yeah, right.
If labor agrees. Because let me tell you something. When I went to panel, I had to get an arbitrator.
Let him finish. Let him finish. That's because I got a question for you.
Yeah. So then he said, all right, so okay, all right, well, and then we brought back the union meeting, and he said, well, because Richard brought it up, and I said, yo, Izzy, you that's what you said, now.
Right.
So he pulls me over to the side and said, well, I wasn't saying I didn't want to fight it. I was just saying, for the relationship between labor and management. He said, yeah, I'll do it if that's what y'all want. All right, leave it alone. Let's go. Let's do it. So he set the hearing up that I thought was going to be a hearing on that, was it Tuesday?
Right.
Tuesday. So me and Rich sitting there for about a half hour, and Rich had to go do another hearing with somebody else. So he asked Rich, does he feel comfortable with me sitting there doing his grievance? So Rich said, yeah. He said, yeah, I feel comfortable with Clarence speaking for me. So I'm thinking it's a hearing. We go sit down, and the first thing the labor manager said, I just wanted to talk to you and just let you know that it was me. They said I dropped the ball. I thought I put it in. I didn't put it in. And then when I got the text from Izzy that I put it right in because he went on vacation after that. But he didn't put it in Tuesday, didn't put it in Wednesday, didn't put it in Thursday, didn't put it in Friday. Went on vacation, came back, didn't put it in until I texted Izzy.
Let me cut you off. That's not true. That's not true.
What?
Them guys don't forget to put nothing in. Their job is online. They ain't forget.
Right.
Was he my labor manager?
Yeah, but that's not true what he's saying.
But then he says, well, it was my mistake. It's on me. So I goes to tell him how we're tired of UPS. When it comes to somebody's money, they play so many games. They're so nonchalant about it. I want the penalty. And he says, well, it was on me. I want to keep this as a good working relationship, whatever the case may be. And as a steward, every new steward, I always tell them, never do favors for them because then you owe them. Don't take a favor from the company because now you owe them. If you do your job as a steward, then basically you don't have to ask for favors. So then he gets really mad. He storms out. So we wrote the grievances up. Then he says,
before you go any far, you say you stormed out, right?
Yeah.
That's my question. All right. So you telling me that you gave up 7 grievances in good faith that say you was going to work with the labor manager, and now because you said you want the penalty, the BA is sitting there and the labor manager gets up and walked out. Is that what you telling me?
That's what he did. He got up, he packed his stuff, and Izzy said, you want to sign his grievances? He said, no, give him to the preload. I said, no problem.
Yeah, but how you going to walk out of hearing, the BA sitting there, this and that, right? The hearing wasn't done. That's disrespect. You don't walk out of no hearing.
It wasn't even a hearing. To him, it was him trying to have a private conversation to get me to drop the grievances. And then he goes farther. He goes further than that. He emails the preload manager and gets the manager to talk to the other 2 employees to get them to drop it. They came to me, and they said, no, Clarence. Nicole came to me, and she said, well, they said, if you drop it and all this other stuff. I said, no, do not drop it, because right now that money is owed to you. You're not asking for anything. It's owed to you. So he, and right now, we're still waiting to do the hearing, and that was about 3 weeks ago.
All right, let me cut you off. So what happened is, right, listen, I've been in there with bigger titles than labor manager, right? Matt Gilbert and myself. I know y'all have too, right? They never walked out of hearing. That's the sign of disrespect.
To me,
never walked out of hearing.
To me, it could be a sign of disrespect, but to me, no matter.
Reggie, we got to vote, brother. That's the only way, man.
We stood our ground like we usually do.
But hold on, let me cut you off. But for the business agent, Dizzy to be in there and let the labor manager walk out, that's a show of disrespect for the E-board. That's a show of disrespect for the local. I don't know how y'all feel about it, right, but that's what it is.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
Well, if you want to ask me, the company disrespects them every time they even come in the building. They come in the building, they walk, they work, look at them, you know what I mean?
They do what they want.
They do whatever they want to do.
They do what they want.
But they say that. They say they can do whatever they want.
Oh, okay. Since you said that about they come in the building, right? The members told me that Shanahan was in the building joking with the drivers, 6:30 one night, right? Supervisors working everywhere. He ain't say nothing, right? Say nothing at all. They said, Jum, he don't say nothing, right? So not only that, then they said, Jum, when we went to lunch, come from lunch, 10:30, supervisors working everywhere. Shanahan still was in there. He don't say nothing. So go ahead.
So, actually, I want to address my BA for some fact that you throw shots at me, I'm coming back at you.
Oh, yeah.
What
Okay.
happened?
Oh, the shot. They told me, they said that, the members saying, yo, the BA, Joni McGovern, vice president, is throwing Clarence Bagby under the bus. Big Time got 2 hours and 2 hours penalty. Clarence got that form on a penalty. Oh, Clarence Bagby, he should have been had that done. He should have been had that done. He ain't doing his job, yada, yada, yada.
Let's flip that. Put the grievance in. Now during Christmas time, we had a stack of grievances.
Yeah.
Joni came in, and then when she came in, we did a little here, we did a little here. That's what we did. Every time we did a grievance hearing, she said, okay, well, make sure y'all finish the rest of them. Every time we did as many as we could. But when we got the big time grievance, I kept telling Dave, you're going to get the penalty. They want to keep procrastinating. So my question to Joni is, if I ain't doing my job, why he only get 2 hours of penalty when it should have been way more than that? Because you always give them whatever they want. So you want to throw those people under the bus, you do your job, because I've been doing mine. Ain't nobody complaining about me, everybody complaining about you. So that's just the fact of the matter is. So you can walk around the building with your chest held high and think you're doing something, then you get in the hearing, I'll settle for this. That's why our local is so weak. Because they put up a front like they trying to make a stand, then you get in the hearing and get a half hour for a 2 hour grievance.
I want to say one thing before you go. I want to say one thing. I know Matt Gilbert going to beat me up. Listen, Matt Gilbert was good. Clarence Bagby is great. Clarence Bagby is doing a great job, right? We don't have no problem on the midnight or the preload. And he running the hell out the preload. So what happened is, Matt Gilbert, yeah, you used to be the man. You're number 2 now. Clarence Bagby is number 1. I know you're going to beat me up.
But to piggyback off that, I got a lot of my ways from Matt Gilbert. Matt Gilbert was great.
Yo, Matt Gilbert's number 2, you number 1. Everybody go back and tell him that.
But I tell you this one thing. I ain't learned nothing from the board.
I agree.
I learned all my stuff from on the floor, from talking to Matt, talking to Jumbo.
Yep.
I ain't learned nothing from the board. I guarantee you that.
So the meeting in Nicole Strickland about the grievance filed by the member happened without you present.
I wasn't present.
Any other union representation?
It wasn't so much as a meeting. There was no.
Did they go over and try to talk to the member about the grievance?
Yes.
And they tried to settle the terms and conditions of the agreement inconsistently with the agreement. That's what Nicole was trying to do.
Yes.
She was Cruz states when it's late, you're owed this amount of money. She was trying to get that 4 hours back to UPS rather than do what she's supposed to do and give it to the membership.
Correct.
All right,
But
just making sure. That's a violation of the National Labor Relations Act. That's called self-negotiating with
our
the member.
business agent does it. Because Richard tell you that. They settle stuff like it's Kevin Mallett.
Don't even let me know nothing. I didn't even know.
5 grievances, yeah.
I didn't even know. I come in, number one, I filed them, right? He said the company gonna do what they want to do. Johnny Cash ain't gonna agree to that. Well, the contract said this was supposed to happen. Well, he ain't gonna agree to it. Next thing I know, Kevin Mallett quit. Then somebody else got paid and 5 other people this. Didn't even tell me nothing.
But his name, did they get paid? That's the question. Did they get paid?
I know they didn't get paid properly. I know that.
But here's the thing. But if you don't know who got paid, how we know anybody even got paid?
How do you know if you can file a grievance?
I know Smart got the checks. Smarts gave him the checks. I do know that. But I don't know who they were. And he told me they wasn't for...
Even if they got paid, were they paid for the amount that you settled for or whatever? Let's say
there was no settlement. I don't know. I didn't sign off. I mean, they just did what they wanted to do.
So as far as you know, it could have been 20 minutes.
Well, see,
it could have been.
Let me tell you the problem.
It could have been.
Let me tell you what the problem with when Kevin Mallett was a BA. The problem with Kevin Mallett, a lot of y'all didn't know. all the full-time supes and managers, he's to drive with them. So what do you think you're gonna get?
Right.
I mean, he shouldn't have been on that shift. He should have been a VA for something else.
But you know what though? A lot of when I first became a steward, a lot of the people, the supervisors I knew from beforehand, and me personally, I don't care if you're my brother or whoever you are. If you violate the contract, you're gonna get a grievance. That's simple as that. We could have been the best of friends before I became a steward. You violate that contract, the grievance is going there.
Well, you should have taught that to Kevin Malley.
Yeah, sure.
What you got? What you got, Expo?
So here again, another problem here that we got, right? This is another common theme with the way that we're represented here inside of local, right? Here it says presenting and settling a grievance. It says as a rule, the steward should do the talking. A lot of grievance hearings that I've been involved and other people involved in, the biggest complaint is they feel as though the steward does not do the talking. It doesn't seem like Bagby has that problem.
Right.
It seems like Bagby steps up and says this is what the contract states. But there's other stewards out there that have this continual attitude to let the member give information to help the company build its case,
Right.
rather than have the company prove its case about the member.
Okay. Again, you want to say stuff, put the truth out there. So I'm going to put the truth out there. Now, what you just said, I agree with what you just said. So how can you represent a grievance if you don't have the core people involved?
Right.
And what I'm saying, the reason why I say that is, I put in the grievances I've put in. I've investigated them. I've had my notes on them. I've done the first Senate level hearing, so I know the grievance procedure. I know the grievance hearing or the problem is front to back. The BA, Joe McGovern, that's her name, Joe McGovern, comes down and says, and then she wants to do the hearing because it's not settled on the Senate level, and you want to do the hearing without the person who's involved.
Right.
You don't want me inside the hearing, but I'm the one with all the information.
Right.
You don't ask me what happened. You don't ask me nothing.
Right.
And then you get in the hearing, and the members feel like they're being cheated.
Right.
So, yes, the steward does all the talking. I have no problem with representing people, but it seems to me that Joan McGovern doesn't want me in these hearings because she feels as though I don't know if it's because she's afraid of the election coming up.
Yes,
whatever the case may be.
Maybe she's afraid you're going to show her up.
But the thing is, I've never tried to show anybody up. I just do my job.
It's about
That's
working
it.
together.
I
Right.
just do my job.
Right.
That's all I can do is do my job.
In that
No,
building,
it's
we gotta
no
work
working
together.
together. It's no working together with the E-Board. If you disagree with them, you're out. Clarence Bagby does all the grievance on preload. He does everything. Take care of everything, stay late and everything, right? Now when it comes time, when they can't settle on the Senate level, Joni comes down and says, I don't want you in the hearing.
That's what
not
she said.
right. That's not right.
Beforehand, I used to stay like that. It was times I'll be there 11, 12 o'clock in the afternoon trying to get grievances done. Now all of a sudden, it gets close to the election, you feel as though the people not with you. Now you try to ease me out. The fact of the matter is, I'm still gonna put them in. Still gonna put them in. Still gonna represent the people. Whether you want me there now, I'm still gonna do it. And the fact is, people still come to me.
And what's sad about it is that the Vice President, Joan McGovern, she put grievances in for the people who she wants. She get the people who she wants paid so they can vote for her. That's all she put grievances in for. The members not putting them in. She putting them in for her people to make sure they vote for them. That's sad.
I'm gonna tell you something, though. In these next 6 months, they gonna do all they can to try to weed people away from us. I'm telling you now. These next 6 months, they're gonna be super BA, super principal officer.
They already doing.
I'm telling you,
they already doing it.
They're gonna be
Your
awesome.
boy Dizzy trying to show up 5-6 days, so he found out that I was out there the weekend. He came down at the TNBC. While we talking about TNBC, right? Somebody made a comment.
What's that?
Yo, they said, listen, 623 is 24/7. We got our hands full with that. They saying they got a problem with him trying to do both. That's what the members are saying.
Now, here's one of the problems I've heard people say, and it has nothing to do with racial stuff, whatever the case may be, for the TNBC. They come to me and they say, we come down to our local union hall to hear and discuss our issues. Why is it that Izzy gets up and spends 15 to 20 minutes talking about TNBC? We not a part of it. We're not involved in it. We come down there and pay our dues to hear what's going on in our local, and we get no information, or we get all the information from TNBC.
And right, like I said before, TNBC has never did anything for a member of UPS, Local 623, right? And the members are saying, right, listen, chum. Now I come down there an hour, 2 hours to see what's going on, right? I leave my family on a Saturday. I can spend time with my kids. And I come down there. I don't come to hear about TNBC. I really don't.
Actually, you know what? Me and Rich were a part of TNBC. I remember Rich asked him when Officer Wilson got killed on the GameStop. Mm-hmm. Asked to be a part of that, asked to do something. Well, I mean, what happened, Rich? And that's the thing.
They ain't do it.
They're supposed to not even nothing for the community.
And the thing about it is I had it all set up. It ain't like I just threw it up. Because where he got killed at was you had the church right behind it. Yep. You had Dobbins right across the street. And it was right in the shopping plaza. So you hit all, you hit the church aspect, the educational aspect with the school, and you had the social aspect because it was the mall. Right. You could have hit everybody with that, but we never did it. So
you know why? You know why he didn't want to do it? Because it wasn't his idea. That's why.
That's kind of the way they run this local. That's Shanahan's MO. If you come up with an idea or anything that is good and doesn't involve him, he don't want no parts of it.
All right, yeah. So we got a couple things to talk about. First thing, Romeo. They turned Romeo down shop steward. They said Dorian can handle it. And what happened is George used to say, "Jump, somebody want to be a shop steward, make him shop steward on the spot," right? So they need more shop. We need more shop stewards, right? Now, why did they turn him down? And Dorian said he needs help.
I'm gonna tell you exactly why they turned him down. They turned Romeo down because Romeo has a voice. Romeo's not afraid to stand up to the company. Right. And secondly, the biggest reason why they turned him down is because he's not with them. That's why they turned him down. If Romeo was one of their boys, he would definitely be a shop steward. Because he doesn't run behind them and Brown knows them, that's why they turned him down. And then it took him 3 weeks to do it.
Yeah, it kept giving, you don't want him to do it, you don't want him to do it. Call this person, call that person. It's yes or no. All right,
but if Dorian said he need help, why they wouldn't? It doesn't make any sense.
Because once again, everything Shanahan don't want to get reimbursement at the end of the year.
To take on a step further, the shop steward that's over there, besides Dorian, was appointed by the company, not by the union. The company asked her, can they be a shop steward, and they say yeah. But you got somebody who's standing up, want to fight for them, and want that job.
Nah, Reg, it ain't gonna happen with you, man. By the time you do, it's gonna be a whole new regime in there, man. Yeah, it's a lot of changes that gotta be made. We're gonna have more shop stewards, and with the way the members are growing, you may have to have more BAs as well. Because I don't know if you guys looked at the LM2 reports that I posted up on the page. It tells you about the finances of the union and what happens, and they have to report this to the Department of Labor every year. If you go back for the last 10 years, this has been the most, I guess,
increase in membership,
and I have ever seen. From
35%.
Right. I mean, it's like 52 and some change if you look on the LM2, and and I'm gonna tell y'all something. I'm gonna tell y'all this now. This is what they're gonna say when they start campaigning. They're gonna say we grew the funds, we did this because it's the most they ever had. That's like $2 million something. But what people need to realize, I'm gonna tell you this right now before y'all get the wrong idea. They didn't grow anything. The company's been hiring, so when they hire more, they get more dues. That's how it happens. So when they come out and say we did this with the money, we grew it, they didn't do anything. UPS hired more people, so when they hire more people, guess what? They get more dues.
I think the more important thing here is, Hooker, that this increase is happening during election years, such as these full-time positions that got posted in January.
Right.
It's all happening during an election year, and it kind of implies that there could be some impropriety with UPS hiring more people than they normally would. Because obviously, if you have more members inside there, that gives them more chances to have someone be voted for them, right?
Right.
rather than the long-standing.
Yeah, because I've never seen it. I never seen them hire. Right, I never seen them hire like this here.
And like you said, grow the company, and we have more people. I think we're at 5169 members. So Espo, what did you say? Is one every 700?
No, one every 700.
One BA for every 700.
Yeah, I believe that's what Tech
All right, so technically we short 2 BAs. We should have 2 more BAs technically.
79 49.
Yeah. So okay. So now we're going to go to part-timer. Says he had 17 years. He said, why they won't tell me what my seniority is? Why won't they tell me my seniority is? I said, number one, it's supposed to be posted. Supposed to be posted on Union Board, should be posted on a website. Kissy Thomas, 14 years, part-timer. Shannon Hall, 18 years, part-timers. A lot of part-timers down there. What's up with the job? They doing doubles. Right? They got 15 feeder drivers working preload building, preload hub. So why? That's 15 more jobs. So why they can't get a job?
You can easily file a grievance under Article 22, Section 3, where it says that it's a priority for UPS to make part-timers full-time. They clearly have established a full-time position because it's worked 30 days in a 90-day period,
right,
and established that full-time position up for bid through the bidding process.
But did you have a grievance in there for that?
Oh, wait, I did. It just hasn't got
Right.
I went to Joni and Shanahan when we had a dayside employee working. Yeah,
yep.
She was working preload doubles from I think
all
October.
January, right?
No, from October all the way through peak.
Right.
And I said, well, Joni, she's been working doubles. She's been working doubles for at least more than 30 straight days. Her answer to me was, well, Shanahan's answer was, well, the company's allowed to work doubles and all that. See, I agree, but it also states if you're working a double shift for 30 days, like I said, within a 90-day period, then that job should be put up for bid
you're not working. This is the problem, Clarence. Right? This is where the interpretation comes in the handle. This is what I think. When you say doubles, that's the wrong way to say it. She's been scheduled as a full-time employee for 30 days within a 90-day period.
Right.
She's not working doubles. Doubles is what's called like emergency work that happens, right?
Right.
Coming during the week, hey, listen, can I stay? Can I come? That's what a double means to me because there's no expectation that you will work 30 days in a 90-day period. Here, it has happened. It has happened down Oregon Avenue. It has happened on the Twilight Midnight because we have full-time employees in there. These employees who are basically performing in the full-time classification need to get paid full-time wages, rates, and pension.
My bad, man. My bad, Lou.
But and the thing is, speaking of what you just said, her start time was 5, and she got done by 9. So she was actually scheduled from 5 to 9 on the preload, and then went to the other shift. So, like you said, she was scheduled to work them hours, but I went to both of them. They refused to say there's a full-time job. They said the company's allowed to do that. So even though the contract says one thing, but Shannon does this to me before.
Part-timers are meant to cover for full-time employees. That's what they're there to do, right?
Yeah.
If a job exists, the company should have an obligation to make that job. Because let's say, for instance, we wanted to get a bargaining unit organized, right, from a company, right? The company's going to go in there and say, well, we only have 10 full-timers because they know they've got to pay a pension, but technically they have 60 people working full-time, right? And they try to squeeze the other 40 and say, well, you guys are going to stay in the part-time ranks over here with the other 40, and you'll get a lower benefit and a lower standard of benefits because you were misclassified right from the beginning. You know, if we organize a unit, somewhere along the line, you have to determine whether the person is full-time or part-time, and there needs to be a standard involved in that. Politically speaking, even, like the teachers should get behind us to determine what the standard is. If the standard is scheduled for 40 hours in a week in a 30-day, 90-day period, whatever, then that's it. That's the standard. You know what I mean?
Yeah, contract says that.
Yep.
But like I said, they don't. If it's not their idea, they won't fight for it.
And we're telling all part-timers, call down the Union Hall, 215-289-0580. Call the Union Hall and find you want to know what your seniority date is. What your seniority date is. And it shouldn't take 2 or 3 weeks. They should be able to give it to you right there on the phone. The next issue, safety. Tugs, okay, it's been brought to our attention again. The tugs have fumes in them, even on the open tug, right? So what happened is you do not have to drive the tug. It's unsafe.
Right.
Tell the supervisor you don't have to drive the tug, right? And if they try and make you, call Hooker, Bagby, or myself, and we'll put a grievance in.
Yeah, I talked to one of the tug drivers, and he told me that the brakes didn't work,
Right.
so he had to pull the
Hand
emergency
brake.
brake out. And I told him, our contract do state, if any equipment you feel is unsafe to operate, you do not have to operate that machine. If there's fumes coming out, don't drive.
Don't drive, right.
If it's making you sick, don't drive.
Don't get in it.
Especially if there's no brakes, do not drive it. Because if you out on that ramp and you hit a plane
It's all
with no
over.
brakes, you're done.
Right.
And they're not trying to hear there ain't no brakes.
Right.
Right. So
And
do not drive it.
Make sure when you tell the supervisor or manager it's unsafe, I'm not going to do it. Safety first. And you got a problem, you get with us. Other thing, feeder drivers. Feeder drivers, they said they laid them off and put them in the building for the vacation kicked in. Well, our feeder drivers been going on vacation since January. So now they telling them they're going to be back out on the road in 3 weeks. All right? Which is like, you know, and some of them quit. And I'm not quitting, they got to do other jobs, this and that, right? But they didn't tell the feeder driver that they were going to be laid off, right? And they're very, very upset. And we want to let the feeder driver know, listen, the new ones, we shouting out for you, trying to look out for you, right?
Right.
So they gave y'all a date, which we don't agree with. You should be driving right now. Well, technically, a couple, I think two of them drove last Thursday, Friday, Saturday. They went to Kentucky. And what happened is they were supposed to leave Kentucky at a certain time, and they held them up, and the driver called and told them what the deal was. That's the thing. Always make sure you call and tell them what's going on.
Oh. Speaking of feeder drivers, now y'all remember last week's show when we was talking about there was this big rumor about Billy Morris and Warren B. Running together for office, right? Well, last week when I went back to work, one of the feeder drivers asked Morris straight up when he was at the hub, said, "Yo, Morris, you running with Warren B?" Morris said no. So the other guy I was talking to, he said, "Well, we'll see." You don't believe it, so we'll see.
So you mean to tell me he didn't say it is what it is? What it is?
Nah, he didn't tell me. He didn't tell me he said
But
that.
is he running at all?
I don't know.
He telling everybody he gonna run, but then Billy Morris always told everybody, this is what he tell me, gotta beat me.
Yeah.
Gotta beat me. I make 137,000, gotta beat me. I make 137,000, I walk around my hands in my pockets, right? Empty briefcase, right? And I need a map to get to the airport. Gotta beat me.
Yeah.
So we got one other thing we gotta talk. Oh, package car drivers. Package car drivers. And this one, you know, I hope nobody comes and talk to me about it, because I know this driver. This driver give him 120% every day. They fired.
Who? Well, no certain names, but
Yeah, they fired. They fired him out of Oregon Avenue, right? And I couldn't believe it. This guy humps. When I ride with this guy, he humping. Yo, Jumbo, and he running, right? And they fired him. He been there for a minute, maybe 12, 13 years, right? They fired him, right? The guy's job back on the condition that he can't drive no more. Now he at the airport. When he showed up, almost cried.
Oh, I know you're talking about.
Almost cried. Listen,
Wow.
here's what I'm saying.
oh,
Here's what
I
I'm
know
saying,
you're
yo.
talking
Here's
about.
what I'm saying, right?
Oh,
You know certain people.
Right.
You know their
wow.
reputation. You know they're workers, right? And this guy was a worker. And you mean to tell me they fired a worker? It wasn't about they fired him. They fired him because he got overtime. His route, he got overtime. That's why they really fired him. They fired him because he got overtime, right? And they said, okay, we're going to get your job back, but you can't drive no more. This is sad. This is a real,
Yeah.
very, very sad situation. Listen, you guys don't have to vote for us. What we saying is, right, it's time for a change. If you vote for us or if you vote for somebody else running, we saying vote. You got to vote.
Yeah.
Everybody knows it's a problem.
Yeah.
Listen, they telling us, they saying Jum, Hooker, Bagby, Espo. They're making it so bad now that
We
whoever get in there,
can't do nothing
whoever
about it.
get in there,
Right.
you
Can't
might
fix
not.
it. Made to fix it, right.
But what we're saying is we're going to fight for the members. We're going to fight for the members. And like I keep telling y'all, 36 months, y'all say Jum, y'all ain't doing the job, I'm not running no more.
Right.
No, I agree with Jumbo on that.
Right.
if y'all vote for us and put us in, if we're not doing the job, vote us out. That's simple as that. It's just like with the ones in there. They're not doing the job, vote them out. I have confidence in all these guys here, but if they're not doing the job, we're not doing the job, then yeah, we should be voted out as well.
Yeah, Clarence saying vote out. I'm telling y'all that I'm not running. Y'all ain't got to vote me out. Y'all say jump. Y'all ain't doing nothing. Y'all ain't trying to do nothing. I'm not running at all.
Well, if they vote us out, I ain't running either.
And Hooker put something else up. I don't know if y'all seen it. Hooker said we giving the cars back. We giving the cars back, and Hooker said we're going to take a pay cut. Listen, we come in to fight for the members, right? If you're worrying about how much you're going to make, listen, $137,000 is not a lot if you work for the IBT or whatever, right? Because you got some of them guys making $250,000, $300,000, right? But $137,000 is a lot of money when you ain't doing nothing, and you solve the company 100% of the time. That's a lot of money.
You know what? I can, like, as far as what they make, you get paid what you're worth.
Right.
Or you get paid what you're worth, whatever somebody's willing to pay you. But the fact of the matter is, if you're not doing the job, then you're not worth what you're getting paid. That's simple as that. Whatever the salary is, you're getting paid to do a job.
Right.
Yeah.
Just do the job.
Yeah, that's the thing.
That's
I
all,
don't really care about, when I put that up there, I wasn't really worrying about, how much they get paid. I just want people to see what their money is doing for them. Because, well, I got to do this thing before 10 o'clock. Because what's happening is, even if you come to the union hall, the union meetings, and you see how much money was spent during negotiations, you would like, what's going on? Or they would go, California spend $7,000.
They were there for a week.
But they could have saved money. If he would have let the other one, the BA, stay home with his family like he asked, they would have saved money instead of sending four members to a two-man committee.
I think it's very important to understand that what we're trying to do with the bylaw amendment is create more members involved in the process.
Yes.
You got to do the thing.
To make sure that, we have an organization that's prepared and together.
Yes.
And the fact that Shanahan had to go and bring Rob last minute instead of getting the driver centers organized together to find out how they feel about the Article 22 drivers, especially since there was such a big resentment for them.
Right.
In particular, to find out exactly what kind of protections that those drivers want is a big deal. It shows that they're unorganized. It shows they can't manage the situation right.
You're right, John.
And
I hear you.
it's not about how much money that they're spending going traveling to do something. It's about going there, being informed with a purpose, and not being there last minute. So you're sitting there like this, like, what do we do? Or have a conversation with your heads banging together. You need to come with an agenda. You need to come with a program.
If they're going to spend that kind of money, then the contract should have been better than what it was. All right, good people. We're going to do this. I don't know what you call it. What do you call these things, man? I get a bumper. Let everybody know. Hey, listen, WOM LP 92.9. Make sure you guys go to the www.spcr.org. Donate to the station. You guys say you like it. You enjoy listening to it. Well, make sure you go there and make sure you donate to the show. All right, we'll be back in a moment.
I got mattress coming today.
Huh?
Joe's car look good. You see his car?
Yeah.
You see his room? That's when you see him. That's when they walk.
They ain't no choice.
They look good, man.
Man, the choice I wouldn't have got.
I seen him up there.
Oh, yeah.
He's
I was lost.
He was lost?
Yeah, man. I was going to Temple box office, and I went the wrong way. I went to the left. I should have went right.
Should have told me I could drive. That's my neighborhood.
And what happened is, I know it seems to be more, right? But I got off the hot expressway.
We was way past seems to be
I
more.
know. And then I was going right. And I'm like, I'm going the wrong way. Then I started turning left when I see
But Reggie, to answer your question, man,
left, right?
yeah, we're gonna have to have more stewards, brother. We're gonna have to, if the membership keep growing, we're gonna have to have more BAs too.
Yeah, it is nice.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was scared.
Yeah.
There's a lot of changes need to be made.
It is nice up there.
But the only way they're gonna change is if made, you guys gotta vote though, man. Yeah, you're right. You're right. They gotta vote.
I think it's more important they should look at what the standards are of processing grievances in this form for everybody to understand that we need more.
All right, good people. We back. WOOM 92.9 South Philadelphia Community Radio. We want to give a big shout out to our brothers and sisters in Local 804. They have a great radio show, a What the Heck show that comes on, I believe it's Sunday now, from 3 to 5. They got 2 new hosts, Anthony and I don't want to call the guy name. I don't want to say it wrong.
Charlie?
I think it is Charlie.
Charlie.
Yeah. Y'all make sure y'all listen to that show. Very, very good show. Also, they voting right now. They count their ballots on April the 9th. Now, for all those that didn't hear the show in the beginning, we was talking about, for all the full-timers here at 623, you guys know the language that we had with, if you don't vote yes the first time, that part of your raise we put into the pension. Well, Western PA had that same language. They voted no, not once, but twice. And guess what's happening? UPS is going to take care of that shortfall because they stood up and they fought. And you guys wonder, well, how did that happen? How was Local 804 getting 110 new 22-3 jobs and a $400 pension? And how is
the 2022 2 jobs?
22-2 rate for the porters and car washers? And how was Western PA able to have UPS pick up the shortfall? It's real simple. Leadership.
Right.
Leadership makes the difference. You guys see it.
And no, they ain't got no experience.
Right.
People keep talking about Hook ain't got no experience.
Right.
Tell them what experience got to do with it.
They just got in office and they did that. No experience. Now, some of those guys, they was on the previous board with Tim Sylvester. Some of them were. But the ones like in 767 in Texas, no experience. Right. Then they had one of their BAs had a landmark case for the feeder drivers for the premium service article. He won that. That was his first case. His first case.
What was the issue?
About them getting paid properly for sleeper teams or something like that.
How were they getting paid?
It wasn't right. It wasn't right. So now, listen. This is what somebody told me. Somebody that's real close to the e-board on a personal note, not professional but personal. This person told me that they're kind of tired of hearing this whole thing about experience. They're tired of hearing about it. And this is the way this member broke it down to me. Jumbo know how to ride a bike. Espo know how to ride a bike. I know how to ride a bike. Now, they probably been riding a bike longer than I have. It don't mean I don't know how to ride a bike. I know how to ride, too. Right. Just because somebody been doing something longer than somebody else don't mean they know how to do it better. So, listen, you guys can keep talking about experience, but look what that experience just did. Look what just happened. They didn't fight for us, and look what happened in Western PA. They didn't fight for us, look what happened in Local 804. With all that experience. So, you guys got to make up in your mind what you're going to do in October. You guys keep telling us these guys got to go, they ain't doing a job, and they keep showing you over and over again. So, the choice is yours.
Look, I think the record reflects, just from what I've heard here over years, talking with you and Jumbo and Clarence and other shop stores in the area, that the executive board is very good and well trained at settling grievances for less than the contractual standards.
Right.
So my question is, what are they getting for that?
They're getting something.
Are they getting?
But we don't know what it is.
What are they getting that we're not getting? Because if I go and I file a grievance, I expect that property to be mine. Right. I don't expect, or nor did I ever waive the union the right to sell me out for less. Right. Because then, if they promise me something and say, no, I can't get it, I can only get you 75% of it. Is that fraud? Like, do you get 75% of the TV when you buy it?
And you get the whole thing.
Do you get 75% of the car when you buy it?
You might get the whole thing.
I wonder, can I put them under the lemon law? Because I'm not getting the service.
You probably could.
Yeah, so Hooker was talking about experience. Hooker was in the shop store meeting, right? They keep saying Jumbo on everywhere. Doing this, doing that, right? So I said, okay. I tell you what. I'm willing to come to the union hall 3 to 5 days a week. You don't have to pay me and train me. What did they say?
They said they're not going to do it.
All right. So
they're not going to do it.
So I'm willing to come up there for free, train me, and get and learn everything. They won't do it. They won't even give me no keys. Y'all don't know. They won't even let me use the bathroom. I get out there 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. I've been out there for 2012. So they won't even let me use the bathroom.
To provide you the education and help to represent the membership.
Right. They won't do that for the membership. And that's been a problem. That's why we keep pushing that. When I was at Oregon Avenue on Friday, a whole bunch of drivers came out. We was talking, and he read the flyer I gave him, and he focused in on the first bullet point that I showed him. Y'all know what that first bullet point was? Education.
Right.
He said, "You're right. That's what we need. We got a lot of young people coming in." He said, "Even a lot of the older members don't know what's going on."
Right.
And
There's not a program or a system for education on either a quarterly or monthly basis. Probably quarterly because you gotta put some effort in and put an agenda together for the class.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And the class can't be just 1 hour. It's got to be like 4 or 5 hours because you need to talk and break down the topics and be able to have a conversation.
Right.
And be able to have people write some things down, and then have somebody kind of look at what's written, so everybody can understand it on the same page. Everybody's on the same thing, cluing together. The retirees that we have, the resource of wealth and knowledge that come up to the retiring meeting, especially this Friday when they're up there, could help out with that. If they want to be active and they want to come in and do that meeting, maybe they come in and help out.
Right.
The retirees ain't gonna help us. They ain't gonna help nobody. They only gonna help them. They got a club, right? And they only help who they want to help. They only help who they want. Just like I'm saying, like Hooker said, right? And Shaspo said, education. They don't want us to have it because principal officer, he's weak. And not only that, member asked him, I don't know if it was a part-time or full-time, he said, "Bill Shanahan, do you know what's going on with UPS in Ohio?" What did he say, Hooker?
He said he didn't know. He didn't hear anything about it. He didn't know anything about it.
The member said, it's on CNN. You don't know? How can you not know what's going on? And when a member asks you that, UPS, that shows you what he cares about. And every time you ask him a question, we only worry about local 623. We only worry about still local 623.
Are you really
That's
worried
not
about
good.
local 623? Are you worried about local 623 when the grievances get settled for less than what's expected?
Man, they don't care, man. I'm telling
I'm
you.
just saying, it's like a double standard. I can say that I care. Maybe I'm busy doing things that I think are right. The people underneath me are supposed to be doing things that they think are right, right?
Right.
But someone eventually has to watch the shop.
Right. But they
To make sure it's all going together.
Right.
And that's Bill Shanahan's job.
They don't.
If he's not doing it, I agree with him though.
Well, but like,
that shows a sign of weakness in leadership.
Right.
To organize.
We actually gave them.
Down.
Right. We actually gave them a grand opportunity to show how much they care and to work with the membership. You know how many pages we gave them in January for that amendment?
Yeah.
It was 70 pages full of signatures. Could have gotten more. 70 pages. Now, they could have went out and said, okay, we know the members want this. Let's promote it. Let's get behind this so people can stop saying, well, it's like you guys versus them or it's them versus... No. That was a golden opportunity for them to get behind something that the members want. But what did they do? They could have got behind it.
Yeah.
Now, and everybody, you can't keep saying it's going to be too late. Listen. We've done everything.
Yeah, we have.
Done everything. Met with people who say they're running this and that, and we try to get one slate. It's just they don't want it to be. See, the problem is it's only 7 slots, right? And everybody want to be a BA. Everybody want to be a BA. Not only that, everybody want to be at the top of the ticket. You got to have some chiefs. I mean, it's sad, and this is our 100-year anniversary, right?
Yep.
Everybody knows that we're in trouble in 623, right? Listen, you have to vote. The election is November. You have to vote.
6 months.
You have to vote. Even if you don't vote for us, you got to vote. You can't say jump. January. Oh, I left my ballot on my mom's table.
Right.
Or is it still time to vote?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So what happened is, I'm glad that people saying, Jim, why you out there now, right? We still voting no? No, we're not voting no. We have an election for the E-Board in November. Y'all see me out there, I'm going to stay out there. Client Bagley says that I can't do 24/7, right? But I'm out there a lot. Trying to be out there a lot. Hooker out there.
Yeah.
Expo got Fridays, 9:30 to 1. Listen, but I've been 1:30. I've been dogging him. He stayed about 3 last time, right?
Right.
I don't know if he was able to get in the house or not. But listen. Y'all have to vote. Y'all have to vote. Y'all don't have to vote for it. Just vote. If you want change, whoever's running for it, you vote. You split your ticket up, right? But listen, we need you to vote for Richard Hooker. Everybody, if you split your vote up, you have to vote for Richard Hooker, Secretary Treasurer. If you want change, you have to vote for Richard. Listen, Richard Hooker's doing a great job. Great job. And then one other thing, right? Listen, y'all might think that me and Espo had crazy on what's going. It ain't no show. Espo and I, Hooker just laugh sometimes, right?
Yeah,
He stand outside. Me and Espo fight all the time. That's all we do is fight.
Yep.
Because he can't give me I want a 1 minute answer. 20 minutes. Stated A, he has Z, right? So listen, when y'all see us fighting on the radio, right now, it's real. We've been doing this for years. And that's the perfect point. That you can fight and still run together.
Yeah.
And me and Espo, we fight all the time.
Sitting here debate. It's not a fight.
Yeah, debate.
Debating
Debate.
about
What was
something.
you saying? Well,
See,
you
they-
gonna
You know
put
what I
it?
mean?
How you gonna put it?
You asked me some detailed questions about the collective bargaining agreement and how it works together. I try to give you the answer, but you want a short answer like you've been getting all them years for George and the rest of the PAs when they give you, hey, it is what it is.
Right. That's
Right?
the
They
answer.
give you a short answer. When
That's
you're
what it
trying to protect somebody and you get a lawyer, you don't hire a lawyer that says, I can win this in 3 sentences. You want a lawyer to make sure he does his work.
Right.
You want to make sure a lawyer gets detailed. He reads the information. He has an understanding where a company might go or might not go.
Right.
That's really what's important here. Because what we did is we just got swindled with a contract
Yes, we
over
did.
a pension contribution.
Right.
While other members out there, you know,
They got
$15,000 an hour to start.
Right.
Because of minimum wage laws and stuff or whatever. But here, we need to get that rate improved. We had a big issue with part-timers getting an attendance bonus that were just hired, but it wasn't given to everybody across the board.
Right.
Pennsylvania state law dictates that they got to put that information within the collective bargaining agreement because we have it. Right? It wasn't there. UPS just magically
They did
did
what
it.
they wanted to do. Right.
Magically did it. Right?
Right.
And now when contract can't come up and you try to go settle, hey, you gave it to them, it's got to be in there.
Right.
And then you got to set a thing, and now it's a timeline. And they didn't go after it because they're not aware. They didn't read enough. They didn't take the time to learn what the law is,
Right.
which precedes the collective bargaining agreement in every case. You can't sit here and deprive someone of their property just because you say, I can do that.
Right.
That's not what here is. That contract is for us to gain terms and conditions of employment. Our property, our contract rights, our property in the state of Pennsylvania.
Right.
That's what it's about.
So, Shopper went up to Clarence Baggy and told her, if y'all keep it up about the 45 job, it's 45 votes y'all gonna lose. Listen, we're for all the members. We're for all the members. And like we said, members that came up to us and said they was unhappy that they should have been able to afford the right to sign up for that job. All right. So what happened is, it's one of them things where it's though we're going to represent the members. We don't want, and we're not trying to offend anybody. So now more research. We did more research on the 45 jobs. All right. Matt Gilbert came. He beat me up. He said jump. They reclassified. Right. So now, come to find out, Hooker man, he came in and said, jump. I ain't voting for you. He said, well, you said you're going to put a grievances. I told him why, right? So he broke it down to me. I told him to come on radio show and break it down. So he said, Jum, number one, it ain't reclassified job. He said, we were on loan to the hub. I said, what? He said, Jum, we were on loan to the hub.
So the original position, what the guy's trying to state is the original position was the work that they're doing now.
Right. So he's saying, we were on loan. I'm like, what are you talking about? We were on loan, right? And he said, furthermore, Jumbo, that ain't even the real deal. He said the real deal, division manager, John Nattell, got mad because we had to leave 9 o'clock to go to lunch and go to the ramp what the ramp needed. So he said, I don't want them guys. So what I'm saying is, we got 3 different excuses. All right? So which one is it? I mean, which one is it? Which one is it? You know, Dizzy told us down in Union Hall, he said, we're moving the 45 guys, 35 on the ramp, 10 shift. We're moving them because we get bigger planes and more planes, right?
4.
That's 4. So which one is it? I mean, which one is it? So nobody knows. But what happened is, like, look, we want the 45 people to know that members are coming up and said, one guy said, Jim, I got 20 years. I'm on the wall. You had a full-time with 3 months, went to the ramp. He said, Jim, I want to put a grievance in. I should have been allowed the opportunity to go on the ramp.
First,
I had 20-year preload saying jump. I should have been allowed the right to bid on that.
Right.
He said, because we get killed over here and we can't ever get off.
I think with the member who was talking kind of misses what we're all talking about here. That once a job goes in a period of 30 days, it becomes a permanent position.
Right.
It's no longer considered on loan. A loan is something that's less than 30 days, obviously. And if it was on loan, Let me tell you something.
They've been living longer than
It
30
should
days.
have been. It should have been on a note, mailed out to the membership. Say, hey, listen, UPS came to us. This is what's going on with the operation.
agree.
This is why these members are going to move
Yes.
here. That's why it's not going to be considered
Right.
a new job
right.
created after 30 days. Because there might
Exactly.
be construction delays or whatever the
Because
process is.
when you don't do it that way, like you said, Joe, you create division. And that's why the 20-year member is offended with the 3-month member because it wasn't explained properly and he didn't know any better. Now, if they was going to do that, it should have been, I should have been able to go to the web and say, hey, listen, attention all members. This affected area here, this is what's going on. These 45 jobs will be moving because this A, B, and C.
I
Any
couldn't
questions?
even file grievance.
Right. Any questions you may have, call Richard Hooker, 267, whatever. Call the Union Hall, 215-289, blah, 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 blah. I'll be down there to take any questions. I'll be at the gate such and such time. I'll be in the cafeteria such and such time.
Yeah.
Any questions you may have.
Like he came out for the union for the contract,
Right.
In force for this pension contribution.
Right.
Here we got 45 jobs that were
Right.
switched around and reorganized,
Right.
but not considered new positions.
Right.
And you haven't established in the conversation that I could get from Dizzy, right? that the work that these guys were moved from still exists. You know,
Right.
Is there still a person getting placed? Because if you're getting more work, obviously there's people that should be on the twilight covering that spot where the full timers moved. There's obviously part timers out on the ramp that were still working that they could cover for because the midnight operation is rather large. There's part timers out on the midnight ramp, right?
Right.
Am I correct?
Right.
So therefore, that job should still exist. That's why I didn't understand at the meeting why he didn't consider it a new job. That's what I was trying to get at. That this is what you consider a new job. Okay, all right. Well, you know.
Like to sum it all up, I told a new member, right, when he rode away from me, he wasn't. I said, listen, all we saying is that 5,169 members should have got a letter in the mail stating what was going on. That's all. So everybody can understand. Nobody wouldn't be upset. I mean, people still would have been upset.
Right. People would have been upset, but you would have known.
Right.
Post it on the website.
Yeah,
On the
Yes,
website,
that's
that's
it.
okay. Go
If you
to
want
the
to save
website.
the mailing, just go post it
Well,
on the
the
website so
website-
we can look at
There
it.
you go.
Yo,
There
but
you
the
go.
45 members, you have to understand, right? Listen, if you're going to run a local, you can't cater to Hooker, you can't cater to Expo, you got to cater to everybody.
Right.
So the members are saying they're upset. Well, I mean, my thing's like, look, somebody comes to us and say they got to file agreement, it's their right to file agreement. You know what I'm saying? They're paying union dues, right? You know what I mean? My thing is, freeloaders, they've been getting killed over there. They saying they want an easier job now. You know what I mean? Which they had a right to say.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
You want your seniority to count for something.
There you go. Seniority should mean
It don't.
something.
It's, you know, not the
It should.
airport.
It should.
Not the
The
airport.
better jobs,
Yeah.
your seniority
Right.
goes
No,
forward.
not
And
the
that's
airport.
Seniority should mean something.
Not
Like
the
you said, it
airport.
did not happen. That's
You
why.
get the better route.
Right.
You go in the feeders. You get the
Right.
better runs.
That's-
You can make
right.
the most money.
Right.
That's you do. Like me, I got 26 years. I'm
Right.
on a full-time preload. I make the top rate because I work my way into that position
Right.
through seniority.
Right.
Here at the airport, that's not happening.
Right.
And what you do, Eric?
Yeah.
And see, that's the thing.
I love
When there's no
That's job.
I ain't
transparency,
gonna comment on that.
you know what I mean? Like we was talking about, when there's no
You might not.
transparency,
Whoa.
these are the things that happen when there's no transparency.
Right.
You ain't got the muscle hand. in the
But
practice it.
again, if some other stuff that's going on down at the hub, the managers, they keep telling our members that if you don't work 5 days in a week, you don't have any health insurance. They're using that whole thing. Listen, you work one punch, you have insurance for the whole week. One punch. I know they're trying to get people to come to work, and you should try to come to work. But if something happens, you can't get there, don't be panicking because you may think you don't have insurance for the week. It's one punch for the whole week. All right? And another thing is, listen, they're cracking down on attendance. The last 2-3 weeks, I've been getting killed by the company about our members not coming to work. I'm running out of tricks, y'all. I'm telling you now, I'm running out. So now, if you can't come, you can't come. But if you can, get there if you can, because they coming down hard, and most of them, they're following the progressive discipline. They're following it to a T. So it's hardly any wiggle room. So what you got to do, you got to make sure you dot your I's, cross your T, because they coming. They are coming. They're trying to save money. They're trying to do all this stuff they can to try to get our members out of there as quick as possible. So do your part so we can do our part, all right?
Yeah, so now, it was a time when they wanted everybody to go home. Coming Thursday, you get your check. Who want to go home? Who want to go home, right?
Right.
So now they can't keep nobody. At $10.65 an hour, they can't keep nobody.
Right.
And at $13.35, $13.35.
No, just 13.
$13 an hour, they ain't gonna be able to keep nobody. Everybody keep leaving. They say, I can't work for this. You know what I mean? You got 15 hours at $13. It's not a lot of money. I mean, okay, you could say the health benefits and the pension, this and that, right? But people need money right now to pay the bills, right? So now, because they can't keep nobody, they want everybody to come to work. But we all know what they used to do. Thursday nights, they get the checks out. What part-timers want to go home?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Now they changing the flip. You know what I mean? Changing the script. You know what I mean? It is what it is, man. But, you know, I don't know.
Yeah, but again, like I said, I was at Oregon Avenue last Friday giving out the flyers and everything, and they was coming out talking about how they were trying to fire drivers and if they didn't have the right socks and all this other kind of stuff. Man, they trying to be as picky as possible to get our members, you know, out of there. So what we got to do is look out for each other and look out for ourselves, because you already know the company is not going to look out for you, and sadly, our e-board is not going to look out for you. So we got to take that mantle and look out for ourselves.
Yeah, because I don't think the people know how much, okay, if you get a driver job back and say you can't drive, you come into the airport, but they lose it from the door, $200 a week from the door. We ain't talking about overtime.
Right.
That's $9,600 a year they lose it from the door, not including overtime. So they might be talking about $20,000, $25,000. So they got rid of this driver, so they saving money now. They bring a new driver in at $1,875, they saving money now. And tell him he got to be done at a certain time. It's sad.
All the people that just got on, I see we got a couple of 22 full-timers down at Oregon Avenue. I don't know if you guys knew, but the same language that we had in our supplement about not voting yet the first time, and they're going to take your part of your raise, put it toward your pension. Well, SMPA had the same thing, and they voted no twice. And now UPS is going to cover that shortfall, all because they stood up. Their officials did the right thing, because they knew that if they fell for it this time, UPS is going to keep doing it over and over again. That's why we cannot allow these guys back in office. If we do, it's going to be the same thing over and over again. But the choice is up to you guys. We can talk till we blue in the face. You guys keep telling us they got to go, but we heard this in 2016 too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We did a whole lot of stuff in 2016. Look what happened. 37 votes short.
And the ballot's still on their table, on your tables, and on the refrigerator.
Right, right.
Look, I want to say this. Obviously, Metro Detroit, Western PA, who voted no, right, in large numbers, got able to go back to a third time. We didn't, right?
Right.
They did.
Right.
We have other locals that voted no but got theirs implemented. Why didn't Hoffa say, yo, you got to go back to the table with those locals too? You know, that's a really big
No,
key
it
here,
is. It
because
is.
how do you differentiate between a local that votes no and a local that votes no by a good margin,
Right.
as to go and implement a contract?
Right. Because they both voted no. Right.
Because it looks like you're doing that for political purposes,
Right.
not for respecting the members' vote.
Right. Well, he's not going to do that. You know, and we see that. So the one thing we got to do is get him out of office as well. Not only that, his foundation. Now, y'all heard me say this before. Hoffa's foundation is all these local leaders that continue to support him and not back the membership. That is his foundation. Until we get rid of those people, it's not going to change. It really isn't. Here in 623, we fall under that situation. Our e-board, our incumbents, they will go to their graves supporting this guy. So we got to vote them out, because 2021 is delegate time. And they're already trying to raise the threshold to 10%. If they successful, we're going to need every delegate down there to support a different regime, because if not, it's going to be the same old, same old. So the choice is up to you guys. We can talk up here, we can come up on this radio show, we can be at the gates, but it's all going to come down to if the members vote for us.
Yeah, I think what shows here is that the vote has power.
Yes.
And the vote that the IBT will respond to.
Right.
You know?
Right.
They can't keep going with the same program of the 9 members, the right to speak upon what they want and don't want.
Right.
All right, this is a perfect example of what we're talking about. Nobody voted in 2016. 2016, we lost by 6,000 votes. That's like 6 votes. 1.4 million Teamsters, I think it was 286,000 that voted. Nobody voted. If we would have voted, we wouldn't have had this problem.
Right.
We would have Fred Zuckerman, General President. We didn't have this problem. You know what I mean? All they talking about next time. And everybody unhappy about the ticket. They saying beating us up, this and that, right? So you got to vote. You got to vote. You can't say I don't care. It made a difference. 6,000 votes. We put up a good fight. Yeah. I think that was one of the best fights ever.
And look at us, and look at our local last election in 2016. 37 votes.
37 votes.
Now, we did a whole lot. That's why I don't get too carried away with everybody is happy. I appreciate everybody being happy about the bylaw amendment, everybody coming down. But I don't get over too confident because I remember the same feeling in 2016. We was doing all that, went to Vegas, convention, fighting against Hoffa, all this other kind of stuff. Woo, you guys did it. You ain't afraid of it. 37 votes. Now we got the bylaw amendment. Now, they did pack the house for us. They packed the house.
They packed the house for us, not for just
right.
why.
But we're gonna see. But we gotta see what they're gonna do in October. Are they gonna pack the vote? Yeah. All right, we're gonna get ready to get out of here. Wait, will everybody say one last thing before we do?
All right, I want to say shout out Teamsters United, Fred Zuckerman, 2021, right? And I want to say we're the part-time jobs for Kissy Thomas, 14 years, Shannon Hall, and the rest of the part-timers. And I also want to say TDU sucks.
You sick with that?
You gotta say it. That's it. He gonna close it out. You gotta say it now.
Just so everybody understands, the law precedes the collective bargaining agreement. They can't make a contract for less than the legal minimum. So everybody understand that.
Oh yeah.
And this contract was designed to make sure that that contract didn't fall under the legal minimum. So everybody understand that?
Yep.
The question is, did they really get you something?
Nope.
Or did they just try to raise the bar to the legal minimum?
Because all the states going to 15. Everybody going to 15.
If you look at our supplement, we didn't get anything but a threat.
Right.
And look what happened. Our E-board didn't fight.
At all.
And people on the other side of the state had the same language they fought. And UPS taking care of their pension. All right, we're going to get out of here. All right, guys, we appreciate you guys for listening. This is WOOM 92.9 South Philadelphia Community Radio. Don't forget to go to spcr.org and contribute to the station. We love you guys. We appreciate you guys. But don't forget, you have to vote. We can keep coming down here and doing this every Wednesday. See us at the hub. See us at the gates, whatever. But if you guys don't vote, it won't mean anything. So don't let all this stuff go to waste, all right? We appreciate you. Love you. God bless. Don't forget, 623 Lives Matter.
You go to Wawa and I meet you at the organizer. You go to Wawa, I meet you at John's. Come out, man. Yeah, I got the Twitch truck.